Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I know it's a tough time, and I just think there's nothing like a group. There's nothing like when we get together within a group. So everybody just say a hi and welcome. Ready? We'll just do a hi.
Hello.
The energy going.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm there.
All right, I'm going to mute everybody so it's easier to hear. Second. Okay, everybody's getting muted for a minute except for me. Okay, and okay, now you're going to probably see me. Hang on one second. Okay, pin my video. Okay. Okay. Hi. And then we'll return to the other view shortly. But anyway, I wanted to sort of tell you why I'm doing tonight and what to expect from tonight. And who I am, for those who don't know me, I'm a physical therapist, I'm an integrative health coach, and I'm also a happiness trainer. And what I have seen over the years is that, especially as a physical therapist, is that when I started incorporating stress reduction and different tools so that people could live happier lives and reduce their anxiety, things really changed. I saw chronic pain improve, and just besides wellness, I saw that people were happier, they enjoyed life. So it was so powerful. So I've been teaching this to my patients really for over 35 years, a really long time. And it's just been so very powerful. And during this crisis, I was trying to think how I could help people. And I think it's so beautiful that everybody helps whatever way they can. And I've been seeing that. You know, one of the nice things that you see that comes out is people are assisting in whatever they can do. People are getting groceries for older people. But I was trying to think how I could help people the most. And during this time, numerous people have reached out to me and said, you know, Margie, what you taught in the happiness class, I'm using, and that's really helping me. And I thought, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have a class and share what I think, what has been helping people the most and helping me the most with, so that you have some tools. Because we're not going to change what's going on right now, but we can change what's going on in our minds, and we can change how we react to it. And that's so very powerful. And we want to stay healthy. That's the whole point. We all want to stay healthy. And I think everyone more than ever is caring about their immune system. And the truth is, the fear and the anxiety are probably the worst things we could do for our immune system. It actually significantly reduces it. So we want, whatever we can do to reduce the fear is just going to help us stay well and be able to cope and ride this storm. And when we do it together and we have the energy of the group, I just love the energy of the group. So that's why I'm doing this. And what I'm going to share, I could do 8 hours on this class, but I want to share what people have found to be really effective and that you can easily implement into your life. So that's the plan, and we'll just go from there. So I'm going to start with just talking about, I have a couple slides I just want to show because I think sometimes that says a lot of things. So let me just make sure. I guess there's no one else to admit, so this is good. Okay, so thank you for being here though. I just, as I said, that someone else popped. So if you see me keep hitting, that's because they're asking me to admit people. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen for a minute and just get my slides up. Okay. Oops. Okay, I'm just going to play the slides for a minute. Okay, so one thing, we're just going to start out. Oh, actually, you know what? Before we do this, whoops, I forgot to do the Qigong. Hold this thought for a second. I'm just going to go back for a second. Before I start, I totally forgot that I was going to do a quick Qigong to help us with our energy. So let me just get out of this for a minute. And hang on one second. Okay, so what we're going to do, and I love doing this because it's, at least in the East Coast, it's 8 at night and we may have been in our house all day. So I really like to do things to increase our energy. And this is a tool that I love. I use all day long. And it's just a great way to bring more positive energy into your day, regardless of what you're doing. So if you can stand up, great. You don't have to. You can do this sitting as well. So let me just, I'm going to move my computer for a minute so I can stand, so you can watch this. And some of the people who have been to my happiness class probably know this, because, okay. So what we're going to do, we're having our knees relaxed and we're just follow me. It's just really easy. So we're going to breathe in and just follow me. We're going to breathe in, gather all this incredible positive healing energy and white light, and just go as high as you can and bring it down. Whoops, let me just put these people in. Okay, let's start again. Welcome everyone who just came. Stand up if you can. If not, we're doing a Qigong to get our energy going. And this is a great way. It's called Sunset Qigong. So what we're going to do is we're going to gather all this incredible positive energy and bring it down into our head, our neck, our chest, stomach, legs, and anything bothering us, just let it out through the balls of the feet. And gather all this energy, white light, good health, peace, and bring it into our head, neck, chest, stomach, legs, and anything bothering us. If you don't even have to know what it is, let it out through the balls of the feet. And gather, and I feel this great energy and white light, positivity, and bring it into our head, neck, chest, stomach, legs, anything bothering it, let us go. And one more time, gather all this incredible positive energy, bring it into our head, neck, chest, stomach, legs, anything bothering us, just let it out. So, and again, you can do that as often as you want. I do that. I love to swim, and I do that before I go swimming, or just during the day you feel you need a little boost or you're feeling down. It's just a great way, and just to visualize bringing in light, bringing in sunshine, whatever you want. Okay, so now that we've all woken up, we're going to just go to the slides back again. Okay, so the first big question, I'm saying to be a victor and not a victim, is, are you a victim or a victor? And I think one way we can see is, do we have certain symptoms? Because if you're a victim, that's the, oh, poor me. The problem with that is we're going to get nowhere, and it's just going to magnify. It's just going to magnify the negativity, because being a victim is the fastest way to unhappiness, but we just stay in victimhood. So how do we know if we're a victor or a victim? So there are some signs. The first sign is blaming. And just stop for a minute and think, have you been blaming other people? I mean, right now, all I hear is, people are blaming the government for what's going on. We didn't work fast enough. There's tremendous blame. And maybe the problem is, it may be accurate. I'm not saying it's not true, but by blaming, we're just increasing the negativity, and we're just causing ourselves more stress. So just stop and think, have you been blaming it all? Okay, the next step is shaming, and shaming is self-blame. That's not something we're really doing in this situation, but so often, oh, that was so awful what I did, or you blame yourself for different things. I shouldn't have done that. We're so hard on ourselves, but that also causes us to be a victim. And complaining, and I guess we all know what that is. I don't have to explain that. So those are the 3 ways that we are being a victim. And by being a victim, as I said, it just intensifies our stress. So but the best thing to do is just stop any situation and say, how can I be a victor? How can I, instead of blaming, shaming, and complaining, what are the solutions? What can I do to be proactive? What can I do? And I just wanted to tell you about a man named Viktor Frankl. And Viktor Frankl was a psychiatrist who he was in the Holocaust. And he wrote a book called Man's Search for Meaning. That was so powerful. But here is a quotation that he said, and I think it says a lot. We who lived in concentration camps can remember the men who walked through the huts, comforting others, giving away their last piece of bread. They may have been few in number, but they offer sufficient proof that everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. And I think this is so important because obviously that was horrific. I can't even imagine, what was going on being in a concentration camp. But even in that dire situation, he was able to choose his attitude. And that's what we can do now. We can choose how we're going to interpret everything. Are we going to be, oh, poor me? Or what can we do? Because by focusing on solutions and not being a victim, it makes just all the difference in the world. And I catch myself, oh, and the situation's not good. Oh, we have to do this, this, this. Oh, poor me. And the minute you catch yourself, you can stop and reframe. And it's really incredible. I'm just gonna stop sharing. So that's step one, to just catch yourself. And there's a couple ways you can do that. In my happiness class, I have people keep a little jar when they blame, shame, or complain, not for a long period of time. They will put some money, it could even be pennies, and then they donate the money. But it just, all of a sudden you realize how much you're doing that during the day. And when you have to put some money in, it seems to make you stop doing it. And when you stop doing it, you truly feel better. But another easy way is you can just sort of tap yourself on your wrist, when you catch yourself blaming, shaming, and complaining. So number one, try to, when you catch yourself, if you're being in victim mode, and try to be a victor, because you can choose your attitude regardless of the circumstances. So that's number one. The second tip is going to be about our thoughts. Our thoughts are so powerful. And the sad thing is that 80% of our thoughts, in general, this is during good times too, are negative. And 95% of our thoughts are repetitive, the same thought over and over again. And the reason for this is that way back in the caveman days, we had to be aware of danger. We had to be aware if there was a tiger lurking. So we're more apt to pay attention to the negatives than if someone tells you, think about that. Someone gives you a compliment, you get 20 compliments, and one person criticizes you. What do you focus on? But that's how we're wired. And so I think during this time, one of my best techniques that actually I used with my daughter the other day, she was starting to get, she's living with me now as is her fiance. And so she was just getting tense about everything and really started worrying. And once you start worrying, then you get to the next step. What if this? What if that? And it just puts you in this spiral. And so, but it all came from a thought. And so there's this really great technique by a woman named Byron Katie. And I'm just going to go over that because the thoughts only have power if we attach them to them, if we attach it to the thought. So I'm going to go over the technique. Let me put the slides back on. And it's really, really effective. So after I went through that with her, when I told her I'm doing this program, she's like, Mom, you must teach what you showed me the other day because it's really helped. So let me put the slides back on. Okay, and this is called the work. And here's what happens. You go through your day. You go through, so here it is, you have a thought. I'm going to get sick from coronavirus, right? And you're like, and then you think of that thought, and what happens with your body? your body starts absorbing that energy that I'm going to get sick from coronavirus. And that starts this negative cascade. But what happens if we stop and we question the thought? Number one, is it true? That's the first question you ask yourself. Is it true? Am I going to get sick? Number two, can you absolutely know it's true? Am I absolutely sure that it's true? And how do you react when you believe that thought? Well, I get really terrified. I start to feel sweaty. My heart starts palpitating. I start to feel really anxious and awful. And who would you be without that thought? Well, I'd be a lot more relaxed. I wouldn't be worrying. I'd be able to just sort of get on with my day. And here's the kicker then. So you go through those 4 steps and then you turn the thought around. So you say a different thought that I'm going to stay well and healthy now. So this is the technique, very, very effective. And it's also, you can look up the work online, Byron Katie. But I'm also going to write these questions for you in the handout that I will send to everybody who's registered for this. And so that you have it, to refer back to, because it's so powerful. So definitely use this, because I know so many of us are going through different things and we're playing out these scenarios in our head that are just creating unnecessary worry. And the problem is right now we never want unnecessary worry, but it's not just that we want to stay happier, we want to keep our immune systems as strong as they possibly can be. Okay, so the next technique I want to show you is the quick coherence technique. And this is another great, great technique that we can use to help ourselves relax. And this I learned from the Institute of Heart Math. And what they did is what they've studied. They've studied the heart, and they've studied different things we can do for relaxation and happiness. And they've done all sorts of research on this. And this is one of the techniques they found actually helps to, what they call it is heart rhythm coherence, excuse me, and heart, excuse me, heart rhythm, oh my gosh, a cough. I'm just taking a sip of water. I'm just teasing. I know, if you do a cough at the supermarket or something, you have to tell you, oh no, it was just, I have something stuck in my throat. Anyway, excuse me. So there's something called heart rhythm coherence, and that's a nice wave that's symmetrical and it's flowing in an even pattern. And that they correlate with love, appreciation, and they found that anger, frustration is associated with a different heart rhythm, and that's incoherence. And they found that when people are in heart rhythm incoherence, it can reduce their immune system for up to 6 hours. So we want to stay in love, appreciation. And so this is a technique that they created that's really, really effective. I'm going to tell you what it is, and then we're going to do it. So the first thing you do is you're going to focus on your heart. Again, we're going to do it. So I'm just going to tell you the points where and if you want, you don't have to, but you have to just think about your heart. If you can, you put your hands on your heart, because by putting your hands on your heart, what that does, that stimulates the release of oxytocin, which is like the love hormone, or the hormone for connecting. And it just starts the flow of that great hormone, which is the opposite of the stress hormone. And then what we're going to do, we're going to breathe in and out and take deep breaths, but think of breathing in and out from your heart. And then the third thing, we're going to think of something that just makes us feel so good inside, whether it's a person we love, an animal we love, a situation that makes us happy, whatever it is, just a really wonderful feeling. Okay, so let me get off the slide for a second. Okay, so here we go. Close your eyes and let's put our hands on our heart and focus on your heart. Just think about your heart. And now take some deep breaths in and out of your heart. And just visualize the breath going in and out of your heart. And now think about something that just fills you with love or joy or happiness, just something wonderful. As I said, it could be a person, an animal, someone that just brings joy and love to your heart. And if right now you can't, just think of the words love, appreciation, gratitude. And that will just bring that in. And so now think about that incredible feeling and let it permeate your entire body. Let it flow through every cell and just fill yourself with that good feeling. And we can just open our eyes, and we can do this anytime. We can do it with our eyes open. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be with your eyes closed, and you don't have to put your hands on your heart. So you could be anywhere and just stop and you focus on your heart, breathe in the heart, and then think of that good feeling. And the thing about this is if you do it once, yes, it will feel good. But if you do it a couple times a day and you keep doing it, your body learns this response. And it's the love response. And so then all you have to do is maybe put your hands on your heart or think of your heart and your body instantly. You practice this. It can just calm you down. So effective and so easy. But the interesting thing is that when we want to learn new habits, or we want to start incorporating things into our lives, it's hard to just say, like if I just said to you, okay, do that, 4 times a day. Chances are most of you, some of you may do it, but a lot of times we get busy. We forget, oh yeah, I'm supposed to do that hard thing. But what they found is that when you connect something to something you're already doing, so if you're trying to learn a new habit, if you then attach it to an activity you're already doing, you're much more likely, that's what the research has shown, to do that habit. So with this, attach it, what I tell people in my classes is attach it to something you're already doing. So if you're already eating lunch, you may want to take some deep breaths or do this activity so you can calm down and relax before you eat, all your meals. Or you can do it after you get off your calls at business, or you can do it after you go to the bathroom, or whatever it is, to start trying to find a time that you're already doing something, and then you'll just stop. This doesn't take very long at all to do. But I came up with something new during this coronavirus, where we're washing our hands 1,000,000 times a day. And oftentimes when we wash our hands, we're sort of thinking, oh my God, I must get the germs off, and we're sort of beginning to a negative spiral. So instead, we can do parts of this where we can just, while we're washing our hands, think about our heart, and then do the breathing, and then think, or even just think about something that fills us with love, so that we don't go to fear. We can stay in that relaxation response. It's really quite powerful. So the next tool that I want to tell you about is actually, I'm going to put the slides on again for that one. So done, done, done. Next tool is another one that's really easy to do, and I found so powerful, as do people in my classes. And it really sounds like, oh, come on, you've got to be kidding. So when you hear it, just you're just going to try it and get back to me on this. Okay, here we go. Let me put the slides back. Okay, so is spreading loving kindness. And I just want to tell you about a study that was done at Iowa State University. And what they did was that they asked students to walk around a building for 12 minutes, and they divided the students into 4 groups. Group 1, what they did, they just asked the students to wish happy thoughts, that you'd be happy, to the people they were walking by. Each person they wanted to wish happiness to. Every person they passed on their walk. That was group 1. Group 2 was to look at each person and think, what did they have in common with that person? How were they similar to that person? Group 3 was to think about how they were better than that person. And group 4 was just to look at the person superficially. What were their clothes? What was their hair? Just something superficial about that person. And guess what they found? They found that the first group who wished happiness to the people they walked around, I wish you know, to be happy, they actually had significant improvement in their mood, in their happiness, and reduced anxiety. That was group one, just from doing that. Group two, who want, and also group one had increased empathy and increased connectivity. Group two, who asked people to, you know, how they were similar, had increased connectivity and increased empathy. Group 3 and 4, nothing happened at all. So it just shows that this is so very powerful. So what I do, I call it HPH, that's just my term, health, prosperity, and happiness, that I send to people. And I send it everywhere. You know, now you don't say it out loud, it's just from your heart. You're just wishing well to others. So I'll be riding my bike and HPH to you, HPH to you. I remember one day, and it's amazing, I really believe that people feel it, even though you're not saying anything. One day my husband and I were walking in the hospital, and I'm just wishing happiness to everyone. All of a sudden, we're getting so many smiles back that it's just try it out, because it's so very effective. This is also a technique that I use to counteract negativity as well. So when people are, you know, when you're feeling negativity, you just start sending out positivity. It works quite well. So we're going to do a little, I'm going to do a little exercise that we're going to do now. So one way is just send it out, but this is something else we can do. And I'll tell you what it is. And again, I'm going to have all these written up for you in a handout, so you don't have to write it all down. So you're just going to close your eyes. We're just going to take a few deep breaths again. And we're just going to repeat these phrases silently. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Okay, so everybody close your eyes. And again, take some deep breaths from the belly. So not shallow breaths from the chest, but deep breaths from the belly. And say these phrases now. Just repeat them silently to yourself. May I be safe. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. And now think about your friends and family that you love. And let's say to them from your heart, may you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And now let's all together send this out to the world at large, because we all need this right now. May you be safe. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you live with ease. And so before, we're going to do some other things, but I just wanted to go over the action steps that we've talked about so far. And so Sunset Qigong works great to increase your energy, bring more positivity, bring more light. You know, whenever we can bring more light in, it's so effective. We're going to be a victor and not a victim, and then focus on what you can do, not on what you can't do. Question your thoughts. You know, when you get these negative thoughts, first be aware of them, and then question them. You know, are they true? And say those questions, and then get it, and then come up with another statement that's different, and see what happens. It's quite powerful. And then the quick coherence technique you can do anywhere to bring more love and relaxation and reduce your anxiety, and spreading loving kindness. And stay connected. This is so very important, because in this time, a lot of us are isolated by ourselves. Whatever we can do to stay connected, that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this so much, because I just love the energy of the group. And when we're connected with others, it just helps us weather this storm so much better, and just helps in life when we're connected to each other. So here's what we're going to do now. I'm going to divide you into groups, and we're going to go and we're going to do, it's called breakout rooms. So there's going to be 3 of you in each room. And what I want you to do is I want you to just think about what we've gone over today and choose one or two things that you're ready to put into your life. And just share that with the other two people that you're going to be in the room with. And we'll do it alphabetically. So the person with the name, first name closest to the beginning of the alphabet will go first. And for those of you who are on the replay, or those of you who are listening by telephone and aren't going to get into the breakout groups, just do this yourself. Just think, maybe even write down on a piece of paper what you can take away from this and how you can put this into your life so that you will actually do it. Okay, so I'll see you after the breakout room. So what I want to do is I'm going to go through at the end a meditation, but I just wanted to, if anyone wants to share either one of two things, either something that what you're going to do, or something that in this turbulent time has been, sometimes there's silver linings or positives that exist when we go through these really difficult times. There are some good things that happen. I know in my situation, not that it makes up for any of this, but it's been nice actually to have my daughter and her fiance living with us. I don't know if it's 2 months. No, I'm just teasing now, but and also I've been cooking more. And I think the biggest thing for me is I have a tremendous amount of clutter that I need to go through. And because they had to use my basement office, I had to really declutter, so that was like a huge positive that I wouldn't have done. And now it's gotten me on to really decluttering, which is going to be a real challenge, but certainly a positive thing that comes out. So if anyone wants to just share either what they are going to do that they got out of this, that they're excited to put into their life, or something that's going well, even despite what's going on right now. Does anyone want to share? If you want to share, you can either raise your hand, or you can just unmute yourself, and that's fine.
Can you hear me?
I can, yes.
Hi, it's Lois Sarwin, Margie.
Okay,
and
Lois,
I'm
hi.
going.
Are you on the let's see. Oh, there you are. No, where are you? Are you on? Do you have a video on?
Yes,
video, Lois?
I'm on the Galaxy 8. Galaxy S8.
Oh, there you are. Okay, great. Okay, so you don't want to show your face, but okay.
I did show my face.
okay.
Anyway, I'm going
Tell us, yes.
I'm going to try exhaling stress.
Okay.
I think it's a very good idea for me.
The breath, the good thing about the breath is that we always have it with us. And when we focus on the body, when we take it into our body, we can do something about it. So it's when we take it in and breathing also fakes us out, even if we're miserable. When we focus on breathing, it causes the relaxation response. So it really does stop us in our tracks. So that's great. Okay, yay, Lois. Good.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Margie?
Yes?
Margie, this is Sally.
Oh, hi, Sally.
So what I would like to do is to share with you something that a friend of mine sent me today, and it's a quote.
Okay, great.
And it's from the Lord of the Ring. And Frodo is speaking, and he says, "I wish it need not have happened in my time." "So do I," said Gandalf, "and so do all who live to see such times. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what to do with the time that is given us." So I think trying to have a positive attitude in this very difficult time and make the most of the time that we have together with friends and health before we might get sick can help us through each day and into the future.
Oh, I love that, Sally. And that's so true. And I think that's what we're trying to create here is that, yes, we're in a tough time. There's no denying that. But we have choices. We can take care of ourselves. We can do these things so that we stay as healthy and happy as we can. And we will get through this. I mean, we've gone through, we will get through this. But that's beautiful. Thank you so much. Anyone else?
Thank you, Sally.
Anyone else? Otherwise, we're going to go through.
I'd like to share.
Sure.
Lois.
Yes.
In talking to Joanne, she mentioned how the nurses took up a collection for getting Crocs for the people that work at Morristown, and Croc shoes so that they could be disinfected and left at the hospital when they leave the hospital. So it sort of brought an idea to me to maybe look into volunteering and setting up some sort of fundraiser for the local hospital, Hackettstown and Newton Hospital, to do something similar to that. And the other positive thing in this is that families have more time and they're together more. And for my family, everybody never has time for anybody else, and it's hard to get together. So I thought that what I could do is set up some virtual get-togethers, like with my cousins that are all over the US, like set a time where we'll have coffee or something and reconnect that way. And for the younger cousins to get together and do that, so that those family connections are more focused on. And I think that when everybody's busy running all around and traveling and everything else, it's hard to do, but this sort of reins it in to focus more on the simple things in life. And that's about it.
That was beautifully said. I know a lot of people are saying it is a time to reset and to sort of connect to all the things in nature. And
Mm-hmm.
Lois, I'm going to suggest, I heard about this, and I live in the Madison area, and people in Chatham, Mass. Just started this, and they're doing it in Summit. They're raising money to bring food to the workers in the hospitals because they're often quarantined and can't get to the cafeteria. So it's on Facebook. There's a group that's doing that, and you can just follow their lead.
Oh, okay,
So,
great. Thank you so much.
And I found that Zoom is phenomenal. I belong to a movie group. What we did last week, all of us watched a movie, and then we went on Zoom and all talked about it. I thought it was not going to work. It was great. And it's a way of still staying connected with everybody.
Oh, that's fabulous too.
Great. It is true. There was like a scare because Morristown was not going to have enough masks. And, they certainly don't. They only had a couple weeks. But then out of my daughter on Instagram found Bethany, what's her last name? The housewife. She has this whole organization that all over the country. And so you just have to say who needs them. And all of a sudden, Kansas, a women's group in Kansas, is willing to send.
Wow.
I mean, it's unbelievable how people are reaching out and helping. So it's really, that's what you see. You do see the beauty of people in time. So anyway, I want to go do this meditation before it's too late. So everybody close your eyes and we'll just stay in this.
Margie,
Yes.
my bedtime is soon, just to let you know.
Oh, okay. So
if I leave, that's the reason
well,
why.
you know what? Before we do the meditation, then I'm just going to show you one other quick thing. Let me just show you one thing I just wanted to mention. So I have this podcast, and what I'm doing now is I'm having people, it's called Happy Bones, Happy Life, but I'm having people on who can really do something to help people relax, or energy workers. Or I'm adding, as soon as I can get them up, I'm not waiting a week. So this person, she came out today, Kathy Pickett, and she is someone who's amazing, and she teaches you how to ground. And so I think I'll send the link out, but I'm having another person come on with that nutrition.
Yeah, one without the.
And so anyway, I'm trying to really have good speakers who are going to help, not totally with right now what's going on, and to give advice and tips and energy and different things. So anyway, you can leave now. No, I'm just teasing. I just wanted to let you know about that. I'm going to stop
I don't
soon.
know. It's going to be too late.
Okay.
Hey, Margie.
Yeah.
Can I just quickly tell you what Gregory and I have been doing?
Yes.
Masks.
You've been doing masks?
Yeah, Gregory, my son, moved home from New York, and today
I'm gonna make this bigger so people can see this kind of mask, okay? I'm gonna make you bigger for a second. Okay. Hi, Sandy. Okay, let's.
Hi. On Facebook and various people have been emailing about masks for the hospitals. So today we started, my son and I, and I call them BTN, better than nothing, because I know they're not, I don't know how the hospitals are going to use them, but they've been asking people to make them. So we started today. And Gregory's,
amazing.
my son and I have connected that way, which is great because he's doing the pinning, which the part that I don't like to do, and I'm sitting there sewing.
That is so.
So we're going to drop them off. We're not making, I mean, they do take a while to make, but we plan on dropping off batches, either at the hospital or the YMCA is collecting them too.
Oh, well, it's interesting because they are very needed. Just from labor, my husband being in labor and delivery, they're going to be using them. That's not the mask they would use with someone who has it, but there are people they don't know have it, and they have to keep the pregnant women. So they absolutely need these desperately. That is so lovely. And just so everyone knows, Sandy sews and she makes things. That's just so nice to use your talents to do that. And Gregory, how helping? That's so wonderful. Wow, thank you for sharing that. That's so wonderful. Wow.
There's a drop-off box at Morristown that my girlfriend did the same thing. Just
Good.
wasn't. There's a drop-off box that you can just take the masks and then they take them out of the box.
Right, and I'm just trying to find out whether I'm supposed to wash them before I drop them off, or is somebody going to wash them?
I don't believe that she washed them.
Okay.
I was told to wash.
I'm trying to find out before anyway, go ahead, Margie.
Amazing. Oh, well, thank you for sharing that. That is just really, really great. Wow, fantastic. Okay, so ready, everybody, for a last meditation? And I'm big into these meditations. And just whenever you sit in stillness, well, you'll see. So I'll tell you that at the very end. So we're going to go over a couple minutes. I hope that's okay with everybody. Is that okay? That's fine. Okay. So here we go. Let me just make sure everybody's muted before we do this. Okay. So close your eyes. And before I'm going to tell you, part of this meditation I do every morning. I do it before I get out of bed. And it's just, so it's good in good times. It's good in all sorts of times. Anyway, so let's just take some nice deep breaths in through the nose. And we can breathe in peace and calm. And now imagine that you're standing under a waterfall, the most beautiful waterfall. And the water is just so clear. And we're making a little hole in the top of your head. And the water is coming down and it's cleansing out anything that's not serving your highest good. So any worry, any fear, any anxiety, anything that's bothering you, any aches, pains, whatever it is, the water is cleansing out the negative thoughts. And it's going out to the bottom of your feet. And below you is a beautiful river. And it's a magical river, and it can change anything that's negative into something positive and let it just flow into the earth. And so just feel that water cleansing through you, cleansing out any negativity, any worry, any fear. Just let it go. And one more time, the water coming in. And then you can even throw anything you want in that river and let it go. But now what we're doing, we're going to fill ourselves with white, beautiful white light coming in from above. And this white light is healing, and it's just the right temperature, and it feels so good. So this bright white light is coming into our head, coming into our arms, our chest, our legs, our feet, and filling us filling our body with white light. And the beauty of white light is when we're in the light, the darkness doesn't enter. And so anytime you want, you can fill yourself with this beautiful white light. And we can send the white light to anyone you want to give a little extra light or healing. Just send it out as well. So you're keeping it for yourself and then sending it out. And now around that light, there's going to be a tube of blue light. So think about a tube of blue light going around your whole body. And the blue light's for protection. So we're being nice and protected, getting universal protection. And then around the blue light is the rose color light. And that's unconditional love. So we have the white light, the blue light, the rose color light. And now from the top of our head, a violet flame is coming in, violet type of light. And that has the ability to transmute or change anything, any energy. So you can just say, violet flame, please transmute anything that's not serving my highest good into something that is. Or if you have something specific, please transmute anxiety into peace and calm. And then green is coming. Green is an abundance. And it can be abundance of health, prosperity, and happiness and love that you share with others. And so now we're filled with all this light. I want us to now imagine it is 3 years from now. And we are sitting in a rocking chair, very relaxed, very happy. And we're thinking to ourselves, wow, it wasn't always this easy. I remember 3 years ago when we had that horrible, crazy virus that the whole world didn't know what to do. And that was not an easy time. There were sacrifices I had to make and challenges that had to be done, but they were done and the world got together and we got through it. And I couldn't believe I had the strength that I did during that time. Looking back, I would never have expected that I would have had such resilience. But I did, and the world did, and a lot of good happened. People became kinder, people cared more about the earth, because they saw that when things actually got better, and the world became a kinder place as well. And just think how calm you are and you feel so good looking back that we got through it and we got through it together. Lessons were learned and people moved on in their life and they were able and certain things changed, but that you felt good how you handled it and you took control when you had to take control. And we all weathered the storm. Now you're sitting in this chair, really feeling relaxed and good. So now you're all cleansed. And we've now been 3 years in the future. But now we'll just take a few breaths and come back to the present. But knowing that there's so much that we can do. To take charge of ourselves now. Just take a few breaths. You can wiggle your hands when you want. And we can all come back. So the part that I do every morning is with the lights. It's just, I feel so good when you send the white light. And then if you want to send it to other people, because also now you know, when you're sort of feeling a little helpless or you're worried about somebody, just send them white light, you know, in the morning. It's or anytime you want, but in that little meditation, it's really so powerful. And the end part, the reason I did that is when you can visualize going, they've done studies on this, when you can visualize that you've actually gone through it and been there, it reduces the fear because you've experienced in your body that, okay, we've gotten past this. So it helps reduce fear. So anyone want to make any comments before we leave?
Shout out to Craig.
Oh, okay. Yes, I will. I will. They're hanging in there every morning. I have to say, though, they did something brilliant. So they're going to be on a rotation because all the OBGYNs in Morristown, they're going to be at the office 2 weeks, then they're going to be at the hospital 2 weeks. So that, and they're all going to work together. So if one group gets sick, other people, so they're not going to leave people stranded, not able to deliver the babies. So it's really brilliant what they came up with when they all work together and figured out how to best do this and how to keep everybody safe. So yeah, yeah, hopefully, you know, keep our fingers crossed that everybody stays well, and we're going to keep our immune systems really good because we're keeping our stress down, we're eating well. Another quick thing is, you know, a lot of people are sending me things, or that, you know, they're getting the worst food because it makes them feel better. Well, this is just not the time. You want to eat healthy food and not eat the sugar, because that does also reduce your immune system. So healthy, good, yummy food. Yeah. Anyway, anyone else want to say anything before we stop? I will send something out, and I haven't figured out what I'm going to do in terms of more things, or again, the podcast, I'm having some great people on, and one is up today, and one is going to be up as soon as, normally, as I said, I do them once a week, but I'm putting them up as soon as I can, because Andrea Nakayama really talked about good things we could do to nourish our bodies and our food, and it was very, very, a lot of amazing information. And so she's a nutritionist who's incredible. And so I'm, as I get these, and I'm having another spiritual person come on, I'm going to you know, put them up, and I think they lots of good information. So I'll keep in touch with people as I see any way I can help out, or, you know, if there's anything that you think could be helpful, just send me an email, or, you know, let me know. So anyway, thank you. I love the energy of the group. It makes me feel so good, and I love all the things that you're doing, and it's just really heartwarming to me. And thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Back at you, Margie. Back at you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Okay. Lots of love to everyone. Stay well, and I'll send you the replay.
And you too.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.